September 2023, I said that Final Fantasy XIV has a content prompt after months of frankly having nothing to do for midcore or casual players. The Lucky Band show numbers at the time confirmed what I experienced in-game. Numbers were significantly lower. 10 months later, Dawntrail would be launched. 10 months after that video where I said we didn't have enough content. We're now 6 months into Dawntrail, and the overwhelming sentiment speaks plainly. There isn't enough to do for the average player. I told you so. Many of the same people who are now producing video after stream clip after talking point on the content drought outright trashed me personally. Like, some of them went very personal, very deep, and just attacked me aggressively. This included a streamer who even decided to take it into the game and explicitly join an UWU PF group, as they themselves said, to just troll me, and how much they hated UWU as a fight, and then they just used that and just lambasted me for hours and hours and hours on a stream. And I was obviously none the wiser until someone literally sent me the VOD. The only reason I bring up the situation with the streamer is it showcases just how harsh the backlash was for me raising my concerns about content. Me saying, "Oh no, I got backlash," is not the case. It was very serious, very real, and I literally lost probably almost 1,000 subscribers from it. For a video with so few views, it really did some serious damage. My goal with that video was I simply wanted to raise awareness that we needed more content for the average player, which for the record is what I personally consider myself. A lot of people have asked this, or they tell me what I think and how I feel. I'll tell you what I think and how I feel. I'm an average everyday gamer. I'm no world first raider, nor do I want to be. Software engineer by day, Final Fantasy nerd that yaps about it by night. I simply love Final Fantasy XIV. It really actually truly isn't deeper than that. There is no hidden meaning, there is no metaphor or agenda. I just like the game. And I've wanted to more average player content for the game so I myself as an average player can play it more. That's what I was asking for. So I made the video in September 2023 asking for more. Please, sir, I'd like some more from Oliver Twist. Sometimes I hear or read, usually from the same set of hostile people, that I have bad takes. This video of mine from September 2023 is the primary source of criticism against me, which I can live with, because I spoke from the heart. I spoke about the actual state of the game that me and every other so-called normie player experienced. Obviously, there's a staggering amount of hypocrisy in trashing on me, and then just because now it's popular, rather than making your own informed opinion based on your supposed expertise, you just follow what everyone else says. And obviously there is a staggering amount of hypocrisy in trashing me for my opinion that I formed from my own experiences playing the game. And now all of a sudden, out of the blue, totally random, now the content drought is here. When it comes to bullshit, I've learned time and shining sunlight down on it are the best remedies to bullshit. I want to identify a few things for talking points in this video. The first thing is that Endwalker didn't have an exploration zone like Boja or Eureka. I said then, and I still say now, that this is a tremendous loss for the game. These are two massively unique forms of content in the game that provide totally unique in-game combat experiences. Obviously they could use improvements. I'll say one would be to let us queue into Castrum Lacus Torre from outside the Boja and Southern Front, same idea with the Dalriada. These are two excellent combat experiences. For example, I think the hallways with saving people in Castrum Lacus Torre and the other group separation mechanics are a very cool idea I personally wish were explored more. The second thing is that many Final Fantasy XIV players also play World of Warcraft or have at some point and are familiar with the Mythic Plus dungeon system. I'll be painfully direct here. I wanted a Mythic Plus system in Final Fantasy XIV very badly and still do. Savage Criterion, however, does not feel like Mythic Plus, and the jump from Expert Roulette to Savage Criterion is absolutely massive for the average player. I'm a huge proponent of the idea of following the ladder system, minus the keys, but following it from World of Warcraft more and putting more focus on large trash pulls rather than a extreme trial mechanics, like an extreme trial gauntlet is almost how I describe it. This would be amazing. not only for like the average player, but also for content creators. This would allow the absolute best players in Final Fantasy XIV to do as World of Warcraft players do, and do high-end key pushes just to see what they can do. Whereas maybe someone who just wants a little bit more difficulty than Expert Roulette could land at, say, a +5 or a +6 dungeon, they could push like +20 plus. That would also be amazing for content creators too. Like, this would be fantastic. The third, and I really could go on, but I want to cap myself here, but the third point that I want to bring in this video is that the Relic Grind last expansion was not great. The best way to do it was to attend your hunt trains running at least 3 times on Gilgamesh. I don't know about other servers, but in my instance on Gilgamesh it was 3 times a day. It made no effort to inspire you to go past forms of content. Like, imagine how cool it would be if the Relic encouraged you to do Heaven on High. How many people watching this video have even entered Heaven on High in the past year? I completed it on content, and I think I haven't entered it in like 3 years. New content, which I want to make it clear, obviously new content would be preferred, but we also could use a driver into the existing older content too. I suppose that could make a fourth point, because I don't believe that needs to be tied to the Relic system. I think the more systems that you have like this in parallel, the more different content streams that people can jump in and grab into, and I think that's healthy for the game. Now let's table that and say that Dawntrail launching with 4 things that I just mentioned, we'd have a lot more content to do. Shamefully, I already know that most people won't make it this part of the video, but I am optimistic for Final Fantasy XIV. Let me tell you exactly why. First of all is that Dawntrail's story is probably the worst part of Dawntrail's content offerings. There, I said it. But there's a catch to it. I personally, and again, just my personal opinion, which does not need to align with anyone else's, I enjoyed the story minus when the giants needed to talk, because there was such an insanely slow cadence for the speech that for the first time playing this game, I almost skipped the cutscene. I didn't. And I have the recordings as proof, because I actually recorded all that. I don't know where they went though. But I talked to all the side NPCs as I always do, and I might need to find where on a hard drive to actually prove that statement. But I do have them. However, that's going to be that point that I'm trying to make, is that was the worst part of Dawntrail, and personally I did still enjoy it, even though I know many didn't. Dawntrail's content outside of that has been phenomenal. The Savage raid set was breathtakingly designed with amazing voice lines, futuristic music tracks, and like Honeybee Lovely's track is iconic and probably will always be burned into everyone's memory. It's so iconic. It's what the hell is going on. It's amazing. But even if the Savage tier was easy, which I would probably say, yeah, you know what? It wasn't Body Check Hell Anabasios, where honestly, I still have no idea how I had the patience to even clear it. But it was fun. The Savage tier was fun, and I absolutely feel that it was fun to do mechanically, to execute. It was just a very positive tier. And I have that same sentiment with Futures Rerun Ultimate, that I did clear totally on my own in Party Finder. Nobody helped me through it. I didn't have a static. I wasn't carried. I didn't have a streamer team. I didn't have a duo tag team buddy. No. I liked the fight so much that I went in there myself, got my teeth slammed in, I did it all on my own, and I had such a blast with it, because it was easily one of the best experiences I had in gaming. The music, the voice lines, the theming, oh my god, from top to bottom, what a pure delight through has been. And honestly, it taught me a lot about the game. It has forced me to look at the game in some different ways and to really level up my game. And so I'm obviously got more to improve in on that, and I look forward to doing it on reclears in the coming weeks, months, whenever they unlock it. I really want to finish all the weapons. Now take that same praise, apply it to Dawntrail dungeon content. Like, amazing. What about the extremes? Same thing. But, and it's a massive Cardi B size, but didn't I just say that there's a current content drought? Why am I complimenting content? Wow, Cole is so stupid and confusing. Here's where you pause and talk shit to me or about me in your chat, whatever. Chat, is this idiot YouTuber cooked? Well, I say the content quality is excellent in Dawntrail. Not so much the story, I know that that was polarizing, but the combat content is excellent. Because it is. This is because 2 or more things can be true at once. The quality of the content we have is staggeringly good, but we don't have enough of it to continue to keep players engaged and in the game. It's like if you go and get taken out to a fancy restaurant and then you get a tiny little disc, a little teeny filet mignon. You eat that filet mignon. It's so good. You want more of it. You're like, oh god, the juice is just so good. It's like not overcooked. It has all the red meat inside. It's a delight. But there's no way that filet mignon is going to leave you feeling full and satisfied at the end. You're going to be like, hey, can I please eat more? I'm actually really hungry. That filet mignon was amazing, but I really want more food. So while the content is fantastic, we don't have enough of it to continue to keep average player engaged and in the game. Like, we don't have a Mythic Plus ladder for them to grind. And oh my god, I learned from World of Warcraft, bitches love the Mythic Plus ladder. I would be one of them. That was probably the one thing that World of Warcraft had that got me really good. But instead, we have an alliance raid that you run once a week for 30 minutes and then it's over. Bro, what? Now, am I omitting Cloud of Darkness Chaotic Alliance raids because I'm trying to be disingenuous? I know people will bring that up. No. It's because Cloud of Darkness, I'm just going to start calling it Codcar, but Codcar really has significant issues to it, and I did party finder them out. Like 2 weeks ago, I finished getting all of the demi materia for the Shroud. No, I didn't get lucky with a drop. I had to farm that out. I can say it was easily the most frustrating content I've ever experienced in Final Fantasy XIV, and I stand by saying that. If people try and clip me out of context, I absolutely stand by that statement. It was easily the most frustrating content I've experienced in this game because the few issues it does have are so painfully glaring. Let me be very direct because I think we need to be with this kind of thing. People will say it's a skill issue, get good. It's a good thing that it's hard content. Cloud of Darkness Chaotic isn't hard. There's no mechanical complexity to improve upon at the pain points that I experienced. I played healers in it, and I would like to kindly be informed, maybe inform me, my stupid ignorant self, my stupid normie average player self, inform me, at what stage in any of the infinite multiverses is me going to the West Tower or the South Tower even close to a display of mechanical skill? There's a glowing circle and I need to either go to the south one or the west one. What can I improve upon? I see glowy circle on ground. I walk south and stand on it. There is no optimizing. There is no improving. Yet, I wiped there to that exact mechanic hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of times grinding this mount, by no fault of my own. And then Party Finder being Party Finder, one person would leave the instance and then we'd need to reform a new Party Finder group back to waiting outside of the instance, not even touching the content, not even doing the content. And with Codcar, that's really the issue. I felt zero agency and I felt like I had almost zero control over the outcome. I literally felt like I was throwing dice and hoping I rolled a d20 in Baldur's Gate so that I didn't have Halsin with his giant elephant ass crush my skull when he sat on my face. Sure, once in a red-eyed scary Zelda Majora's Mask moon, I would actually roll a d20 and my head wouldn't be crushed under the weight of Halsin's said derriere, and managed to get 2 measly demi materia for my Shroud of Darkness. The other 19 rolls was dying to fucking towers and being totally unable to do anything, with me questioning what the hell am I doing. Codcar, I can seriously compliment though, because yay, oh my god, we get to use Asuna. I used Asuna and Rescue so often. Frankly, I want Scholar's old Selene fairy back. And you know what, I'm not done talking about that, but I'm going to have to put a cap on it in this video. But Selene, I want back in her latest form. She's obviously had many forms, but she used to have the ability to silence with Silent Dusk or whatever it was, and then she had the AoE Asuna. Those tools would be so amazing in Codcar, like to interrupt the cast, because trust me, I've seen that cast get off way too many times. Again, I party findered it. Holy shit, give me a silence. Ironically, in 2025, old Selene would be a fantastic utility option. That is so cool to me. So my point is, don't tell me I hate the idea of chaotic. I love so many parts of it, like creation of content where Selene would, no cap, be queen is amazing. This Selene is bussin', yo, no cap. But it needs polish, and it currently, while chaotic is a step in the right direction, it doesn't feel that average player approachable mid-core content that we're missing. You cannot seriously tell me that Codcar is as approachable to a person getting off their day job, driving back home, getting home at 7 o'clock at night, as Boja was, where they could just sit there, get some metal, grind some loot towards some relics, and maybe join a Castrum or Dalriada run. It was very deterministic, and they were able to put in time, and they were able to get progress towards a goal. There was a very clear line of progress there. And that's really, I suppose, another heart of the issue that should be struck at, is we really need easily accessible content where you don't need to wait in a party finder for fucking half an hour for it to fill just to see it get disbanded. We need easily accessible content that gives people agency, where they feel like they have something they can sit down to and just enjoy and work towards. I'm also going to be pointed here. I think that the perfect difficulty for average normie players was in Delubrum Regine normal mode. It was engaging, fun, and reasonable while not being a total crapshoot like Codcar. If someone doesn't know to stand in the South Tower, oh, the glowy South Tower, maybe I should stand in it. Fuck me. However, it was definitely not just a face roll, and if you failed mechanics multiple times, boom, doom and gone. I didn't say done and gone, I said doom and gone. It was kind of funny. I am cringe, but I am free. I'm also going to add in the talk about the Dalriada that we had different builds to test there in Delubrum Regine, and they were extremely fun. Like, I did a huge damage DPS White Mage with thin air into other effects, and it was comical ripping Aggro off as White Mage. It was so fucking fun. Like, oh my god, positive memories of 14. Lots of them formed through this. And on that high note, because I actually just fangirled, I had to pause because I just had all the happy feelings. But that's where I want to end the video on. 16 months later, we're finally looking at patch 7.2, which has contained in it some of the most vital critical content to Final Fantasy XIV's average player with the new exploration zone. That is my honest, heartfelt take on it. I believe that this is pivotal for the average player. With the content quality in Dawntrail being as exceptional and outstanding as it is, which I stand by that, more than one thing can be true at the same time. I look forward to seeing what happens in 7.2. Unfortunately, Dawntrail has gone to the point where it has truly been a weight on the player base. It has been a very long 16 months since I made that video, and it brings me a tremendous, actually, amount of sadness. Not as a stupid fucking content creator making videos on YouTube, like fuck that. I'm talking about me as a player. It makes me sad as a player that loves this game that it has taken 16 months to get here. I obviously wish that the Relic was different. I wish that we had new content types or grinds introduced to capture the average player, something to give me agency, something to log into and do and work towards. And the most important thing I believe to take away from this video is that going into patch 7.2 and beyond, there's even more content coming on the way, but going to 7.2 and beyond, that we're looking at some extremely substantial content for the average player. So I make this video not out of negativity, but rather acknowledging what is and what happened is what is and what happened, and looking forward to things being better than ever before. Because my personal thoughts so far, and again, I could be wrong, but so far I'm thinking that Dawntrail looks like it's shaping up to be like Stormblood. Stormblood was incredibly negatively received story-wise, but frankly, content-wise, we were eating so extremely good. Stormblood then led into Shadowbringers, which was an undeniably resounding success. And Stormblood, oh, so many great forms of content, like we truly were eating. So, genuinely, I feel positive for patch 7.2 and beyond. I am highly interested in covering the live letter for everyone, and that's my honest, sincere take. It's all going to be up from here.